Well, after more than 500 million people went to the polls in India's 5-week-long general election, the results are in. The country's longtime ruling party has faced a crushing defeat following outrage over a string of corruption scandals and a sagging economy. This is the leader of the Indian National Congress Party.
Observing the early trends of the poll results, the Congress Party and the United Progressive Alliance, too, respectfully accept defeat.
Early election results show India's opposition leader, Narendra Modi, has won a landslide victory and is set to become the country's new prime minister. Modi is the leader of the BJP, a Hindu nationalist party. Critics note he served as the chief minister of Gujarat, where one of India's worst anti-Muslim riots occurred in 2002 that left at least 1,000 people dead. After the bloodshed, the U.S. State Department revoked his visa, saying it would not grant a visa to any foreign government official who was, quote, responsible for or directly carried out at any time particularly severe violations of religious freedom. Modi has never apologized or explained his actions at the time of the riots.
Modi's main challenger was Rahul Gandhi of the ruling Congress Party, Gandhi's heir to the Nehru-Gandhi dynasty that's governed India for much of its post-independence history. Several smaller regional parties and the new anti-corruption Common Man Party were also in the running. For more on the significance of the election, the largest in the world, we're joined by Siddharth Deb, Indian author and journalist. His nonfiction book, The Beautiful and the Damned, A Portrait of the New India, was a finalist for the Orwell Prize and the winner of the PEN Open Award. He teaches at the New School here in New York. Welcome to Democracy Now!, Siddharth. Talk about the significance of, well, what will now be Prime Minister Modi. Who is he?
Well, thank you for inviting me here, Juan and Amy. I think one of the things that's being said is that this is the largest election. This is the largest democracy, voting, choosing a man to power. Obviously, that has been true for a while. Obviously, India has been the largest democracy for a long time, if you take the numbers into account. It's also been diverse for, one could argue, for centuries, actually. So this is not new. What is significant is that Narendra Modi, a hardline leader in a hard-right Hindu right party, is the person who's been elected by a majority of Indians to be their leader. Not without significant backing from corporate interests in India. And so he is not just a man who's been chosen by the masses, but he was a man who was anointed by the corporations, by the elite media in India, well before before the election results came in. This is the result that the corporations in India wanted. And the reason for that is that, Mr. Modi, the one of the things that's being talked about him is that he, as a chief minister of Gujarat, he led it into, he is a very pro-development politician, which basically means pro-business, not development in the sense of the large numbers of people. So this is what one aspect of the man who's been chosen to lead the nation, and it is a significant break in a certain troubled, but nevertheless at some level sustained Indian tradition of plurality and diversity. This marks a significant, deliberate break on a section of the Indians from that past.
Well, what about the whole issue of the Congress Party being this party that has essentially ruled India now for decades, and the level of corruption and dissatisfaction of the population with the governing party?
Yes. Well, I think it's worth remembering that the Congress Party, the Prime Minister of the Congress Party, Manmohan Singh, was the finance minister who was very much in charge of the so-called reforms that took place in India. And reforms is another word for shock therapy, for market-friendly policies, very, very deliberately anti-poor. And the Congress was fine. The corporations, the elites were fine with the Congress for a while. You have to remember that the BJP was in power till 2004. And in the economic realm and in many other areas, there's really no substantial difference between the BJP and the Congress. They both represent the interests of the Indian elites, which is a significant number of people, of course, and they've done very well in the last 20 years of growth and consumerism. But the BJP was voted out of power in 2004, and the Congress came to power. What has happened is that the growth that we were talking about, and the Indian media, but also the Western media, is very, very, very deliberate on this. It peaked in sometime in 2010. And has been coming down since then. I think it has come down from a very significant high of 10% to something like 4.3. So there's a lot of agitation, there's a lot of anger out there.